Boxing truth here. Danny Jacobs wants hometown advantage for a fight against Gennady Golovkin. Now, there's already preliminary discussions already taking place. One of Jacobs' longtime advisors was on record in a recent article that came out about the negotiations. And it's going to be interesting negotiations for this fight, considering it's an HBO fighter featuring an Al Heyman client. Now, the good news is that Tom Loeffler and Al Heyman have been able to do business with each other before. Even though it was a mandated bout between Golovkin and Dominic Wade, they were still able to avoid a purse bid and able to come to a deal. So, you can only be hopeful that they can come to a deal for this fight, but it's much more complicated compared to a mandated bout with Dominic Wade. This is Daniel Jacobs. He's a guy who's been affiliated with the PBC, has been featured on Showtime numerous times. So it's too early to tell, according to Jacobs' longtime advisor, Keith Connolly, on what network this fight will take place. But considering Triple G's exclusive deal with HBO, you would have to think that the fight will have to be on HBO. Now, there could be a lot of angles in these negotiations. Does Al Heyman really want this fight? Does Jacobs' team want this fight? Will they do something to perhaps gain leverage in the negotiations? Maybe play hardball. Maybe make negotiations more difficult than they should. Maybe force Tom Loeffler and Gennady Golovkin's camp into a purse bid. But Al Heyman doesn't seem to have the funds he used to when it comes to purse bids. He already failed to win a bid for Deontay Wilder in his failed fight against Povetkin. He wasn't able to win that bid. Will he be able to win this bid now that it seems like the funds from the PBC is running dry? That is one scenario that could happen. If Heyman is confident enough to win the bid, of course he will most certainly want to put the fight on Showtime, the PBC universe, and see if Golovkin would actually vacate his title if he's unable to fight beyond HBO or fight on another network not named HBO. It's an interesting scenario that could take place if Al Heyman is not negotiating in the best faith in order to put this fight together. And what was interesting in the article, it said Jacobs' longtime advisor said that the more likely scenario is that this fight could take place in the first few months of 2017. Though the fight could happen in December, but they want the fight to happen at Barclays Center, Jacobs' team, since it's already been reported that he has a date for December at the Barclays Center. And Golovkin and HBO are talking about putting him back on in November 26th. So we're just going to have to wait and see if the fight can be made. I mean, I've been to both venues, the Barclays Center and Madison Square Garden. Now, Jacobs' advisor was saying that he thinks the Barclays Center has surpassed the MSG when it comes to big events in New York. I've been to both venues for boxing, and they're both very good venues for boxing. Both venues are fine to go to watch a boxing fight. But I don't know if the Barclays Center will provide the best gate for all the principals involved. Perhaps MSG could produce a better gate, considering that they have a better capacity there. There's 20,000 in capacity there compared to, I believe, 16 at the Barclays Center. So, of course, the promoters are going to go where the money is. This fight belongs in New York. It will be a sellout, whether it's in the Barclays Center or MSG. They're going to want the most money possible for Jacobs, and they feel it's a pay-per-view fight. And if they can't do it this year, then they'll want to build it into a pay-per-view fight. Have a 24/7 all-access type of promotional promo for the fighters in order to know both fighters a lot better beyond the boxing ring. So in the next few weeks, we'll find out if this fight will get made, and whether they can come to a deal and avoid a purse bid, because that's the scenario Golovkin's team would want to avoid. I mean, I don't know if Golovkin would just simply let his WBA title go. He's worked so hard to get all those 3 belts. I just can't envision him not going through with just vacating his belt. I could see him fighting on a network if he has to, whether he has clauses in his contract that he's able to do so with HBO or not. So it's a very interesting scenario. I can see Heyman playing that card. Maybe he'll want to make the fight, or maybe Jacobs' team will wait until they can put the fight on pay-per-view in order to make the most money possible. For this middleweight clash, that needs to happen sooner rather than later. This is Boxing Truth. I'm out.